Hello and welcome back, everyone. Scootsy16 here with another episode of the Chem Lock League, and a very interesting spot we're sitting in as the playoffs for the Yang Conference have been set, but seeding hasn't been finalized just yet, as we have one more game left, and that will be the difference between us jumping up or staying at the 2 seed or potentially dropping down to 3 or 4, depending on the outcome of this ball game. And it will be an interesting game that we will be watching here today. I almost simmed this one at the end of the last video, but I think I made a better decision to wait, as I think there's a lot of consequences here, and I don't want the after the game situation to be rushed. So just to give you some context, we'll be facing off against the Rakers. If you recall, we had the doubleheader against them earlier this season, and that was where things kind of took a turn for us, as we were riding high, and we had an awful 7th inning in extras against the Rakers, handing us a loss and splitting that doubleheader. And then we just went downhill from there. We've been riding high after a couple of big wins versus the Chompers and the Foresters. Oh, I'm sorry, we lost to the Foresters. How did the schedule go? We won against the Cutters in the last one, and so 2-game winning streak, but before that it was just really, really rough to watch. So will we go 11-5 or will we go 10-6? It's going to be hinging on the success of Tenley Knight, who is tense after an ugly game last time, and yeah, she had 2 great starts at the first half of the season. She has been rough over the back half of the season, and she's given us one more game. We might replace her after the season, or after this game is over, but we're going to have to rely on her for this one. So let's go ahead and make sure that the lineup is set here. I don't like a tense Finley here, so we're going to go defense in this spot. My gosh, this is so wild. So we have 4 out of 5 of our pitchers are locked in, or in the bullpen right now. Booth is tense, which is funny because she's been one of our best pitchers. Wankerstein's tense. Tenley Knight is tense. Richard's injured. We've had, I think 2 of our last 3 games potentially have had one of our pitchers get injured. I almost wonder, do we go with McBiddles at 3/4 stamina versus a tense Tenley? But I'll rely on her here. We still have an injured Valencia. He has been out for about 3 or 4 games now, and him missing in the lineup really hurts. I'm going to put Corona on the bench. We're going to bring Trampleson back. She's back to neutral mojo. And the rest of the lineup I'm going to leave as is. Nice to see Dennis locked in, I think for the first time this season. Zeke back to neutral mojo. I think he had a home run in that last game. Took a day or 2 off since the last recording, by the way, just to give you some context. And I guess I'll leave this lineup as is the rest of the way. We got enough to get a victory. I don't want to rock the boat. Oh, I don't want Black up here. We'll put him behind Trampleson ahead of Beal. So that'll put Zeke at 4. Pork will stay at 3. Dennis stays at 5 here, and then get wrecked. Yeah, the back half of this lineup doesn't look good at all, but we just need 1 win. So let's see if we can get it. I like this alt uniform. Let's head out to the ballpark. We're out to Parque Jardineros for this one, and they'll have a couple of locked-in players, but they have been dropping players. You'll note that Drew Dropkin is not in the lineup. For the Rakers, they recently let him go. So yes, we are in a situation where the Rakers have kind of shed some salary, but they still would love to play spoiler in this game. This is a division rivalry, and that typically ends up happening where they'll compete extra hard, especially when they know they can play a spoiler here. So Rubio will step up to the plate against Lane Ingram. 1-1 count here, and fouled off, so that'll activate tough out for Rubio, batting .385 on the season now, with 1 home run and 3 RBIs. It's been a really rocky back half of the season, and it will continue as he lines to second base. Now Shoei comes up. He's batting .268 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. His season has been a roller coaster. And he'll ground to Lane Ingram for out number 2. That's unfortunate. Now, there is some consequences in this ballgame for Port Guevara, who's currently sitting in the spot for the Rookie of the Year, but has a chance for the MVP. He needs to have a big day today, and Iceman Grubbs needs to struggle a bit. 0-2, and Pork will foul off down the right field line, so he'll get another chance with 2 outs, and he's locked in. And he'll pop up. This one's going foul, but will it get out of play? Nope, it's going to stay just in that indent for Repo Roberson to make the play. That's frustrating. So, nothing doing in the top of the first against Lane Ingram. Now we will turn it over to Tenley Knight, who's tense. More like Tensley Knight. Am I right, everyone? I'm sorry about that. Burns starts 0-2. And it's like a ball in the dirt, batting 167 on the season. Checks on ball 2. No home runs, 1 RBI, and he'll ground to short. Pork will scoop and toss to first, out number 1. Excuse me. Now Cordova, who's batting .212 with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. He has been a bit of a thorn in our side in the past. Took a drink, went down the wrong pipe. A grounder to first base will be out number 2, and if you just saw that, Tenley Knight gets back to neutral mojo, and she'll have to face off against Paxton Hanspringer, who is locked in, and he grounds out to short on the first pitch. So a little bit of vintage Tenley Knight here. At least through the first inning, she goes 1, 2, 3. So pitchers matching each other in the first inning. We'll see what happens in the second here, as Zeke, batting .273, has 3 home runs and 10 RBIs, trying to make a push for potentially being an extra all-star. 0-2 count. And he'll hit one hard to left field. It's going to drop in front of Burns, and it's a leadoff single. So he'll be on first with good speed. And Jacques Dennis, who has turned it on just really lately. 3 home runs, which he didn't get his first home run until like game 12 or 13 of the season, and we're at game 16 now. He's locked in. Betting 281. He swings through strike 2 here. 1-2 count. Jacques Dennis deep right center field. Carrying. That's going to hit off the base of the wall. Rounding first, heading to second. Zeke will be heading home. And Jacques Dennis with an RBI double will put the Tundras on the board. Zeke flying around the bases. Jacques coasting into second base. And he'll give us a lead here in the second inning. Big moment for the Tundras here in game 16 of the season. Ingram hasn't had a great year, but he's been doing well against the Tundras so far. Now, Get Wrecked he'll get one through the right side as the runner was being held at second base by the second baseman. And look at Get Wrecked sleds into second base with an RBI double. So it's going to be a back-to-back doubles from Dennis and Get Wrecked, and good job from Jacques Dennis to hustle around third. Good read from the third base coach on a ball that was hit slowly to right center. And a runner in scoring position with still nobody out for Demi Trampelson. Down the right field line, it's going to tail foul. Runner in scoring position. She'll slap one into the right field side, and rounding third, holding is Get Wrecked. But Demi Trampelson with a single. And keep the line moving. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 straight hits. Ingram now tense. Has rally stopper, but it's at tier 1. And now Christian Black, who has played limited this season, batting .273 with no home runs and no RBIs. He pulls one foul, and he's down 0-2. More of a defensive consideration. And Cordova trying to go around the horn. He will. That'll give us another run. Thankfully, he had a chance to just go straight home with it and likely get the runner caught between bases there. But we'll score, making it 3-0. Black grounds into the double play, putting 2 outs and nobody on for Beal. Fouls one off. He falls behind 0-2. Ingram back to neutral. Misses outside on the slider. And ball misses high. It's a 2-2 count for Beal. who will hit one hard, but right to Handspringer. That'll end the inning. But 3 runs on 4 hits for the Tundras. A little bit of an offensive outpour here in the second. Hopefully that's not the only inning that we're able to put up some production. Blackwell comes up batting .256, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, a former All-Star. Swings through strike 1. Tenley is at neutral mojo after a good first inning. This one's blooped into center. Diving is Guevara. He's not going to get to it. Drops in front of Price, and that's going to be a leadoff single. First baseman Repo Roberson typically plays right field, but covering first base today. Tier 2 Butterfingers is a defensive trade. He swings at the first pitch, pops up to right field. Camped under it is Tramples, and that'll be out number 1. Runner holds at first. And now Gad Mann. Familiar with him. He was our first catcher in Tundra history. He pops up on the first pitch. Shallow right center. Going to be Shoei working his way out there. He'll call that. And another pop out. Two pitches, 2 outs for Knight after the base hit. So Marin comes up. She's locked in. She hasn't been playing a lot this season, but she seems to have gotten some extra opportunities with Dropkin being released, and she hits a base hit up the middle, so she's going to keep the inning alive. She's now on fire over there at first base. And with 2 outs and 2 on, Chico O'Brien comes up. He found success against us in the doubleheader, but he'll come up batting .500 on the season. No home runs, 1 RBI. He was briefly a Tundran, I think last season. And off the end of the bat, but it's going to pop out to Guevara. That was a really weird sound off the bat, but weak contact, and Tenley with another clean inning. She gives up 2 hits, gets out of it unscathed. Rubio will lead off the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1 today. Lined out to second base in his first at-bat, if I recall. And Ingram, who's back to neutral mojo, we'll see if he can have a cleaner inning. Something more akin to what he did in the first inning against the same batter. Tough out activated on the 2-2, and he pops up behind the plate. It's in foul territory, but easily playable for Gad Mann. Rubio with another ugly at-bat. Shoei grounded out to the pitcher. Ingram at 40 pitches. Shoei checks and holds on the curveball, strike 1. Swings through strike 2, a fastball up below the zone. And he'll get underneath this one, not on the barrel. And it's going to hang up in center for Marin. 2 quick outs, and we'll go to Port Guevara. 0 for 1 today. Again, in the running for the MVP, but a pop out in foul territory in his first at-bat is not going to get it done. That's a 1-1 count. And he gets a base hit up the middle, so good contact there. It will be a 2-out single. Noodle arm activates for Marin, but it's negligible. And with a runner on first with good speed, Zeke Price comes up 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. I'd say average speed over there at first base. Zeke takes a strike at the bottom of the zone. And Zeke sends one to the left center field. It's going to get all the way to the deepest part of the park. Rounding second, heading to third is Guevara. He's going to take his chances heading to third, or heading home. And Zeke will hold up at second base. It's an RBI double for Zeke Price, the former Rookie of the Year, driving in the potential current Rookie of the Year. And Jacques Dennis will come up in a familiar situation with a runner on and locked in. He had the RBI double in his last at-bat. Pulls foul here, 1-2 count. Ingram over 50 pitches. Pops foul here. Ball misses high. It's a 2-2 count with 2 outs. And just making contact to stay alive. Dennis up to a .303 average. How about that? I think a home run puts a stamp on his season as a success. Full count, 2 outs. Oh, he'll strike out. He gets fooled on the slider that tails right out of the zone. He'll lose mojo. The strikeout, bigger impact than the RBI double, unfortunately. And that'll be an ineffective inning. We did score 1 on the Zeke Price double. It's now 4-0. Into the bottom of the third we go. Trespass Miners comes up. He'll get a hold of one, but it did not get the barrel either, and that one hangs up for Trampelson out number 1. Now Burns, he's 0 for 1 today. Average drops to 160. He has Rally Starter activated for the first time today. With a 4-0 lead, Tenley throwing her 20th pitch, and it's lofted into right field. Another chance for Trampelson. She'll catch that one. 2 down for Cordova. Past tier 2 whiffer. We'll see if we get to that point. The batters for the Rakers have been pouncing, and he does it here. Popped up to the shortstop. I don't think that was a 3-pitch inning. I think she threw an extra pitch or 2 to Miners at the beginning of that at-bat, but let me know. Can you go back and check? Was that a 3-pitch inning for Tenley Knight in the third? Either way, it's a 1-2-3 inning. And that'll be the day for Lane Ingram. He makes it through 3 innings, giving up 4 runs. And now his name is not Pinata. Hayden Pinata comes up. Has tier 1 crossed up. Get Wrecked hits one hard to center field, but right at Marin, who's on fire, and she's going to haul that one in. Trampelson 1 for 1 with a single. She's batting .308. Pinata with an elite changeup. Has a slider and a 4-seam fastball as well. I imagine he hasn't pitched much, but he does have 6 strikeouts and has yet to allow an earned run this season. And Trampelson pops up to the infield. It's Blackwell hauling it in.
Number 94, Christian Black.
Now Black 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play, if I'm not mistaken. Takes the ball low. And the slider will be pulled to Horst Cordova. A 1-2-3 inning for Pinata after coming in relief of Lane Ingram. So the offense going quiet there. It's still 4-0. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Hanspringer will start things off 0 for 1. He is still locked in. Average at .382 on the season. And that'll go up as he smacks a base hit up the middle. Runner on first for Blackwell. He also managed a base hit in his last at-bat. Average at .275. With a locked-in Hanspringer over at first base, the speed is pretty good. This one's blooped into center, shallow center. Zeke Price has to come a long way to get to that one. He does haul it in. Catching that one on the run, and the runner holds at first. So 1 down for Repo Roberson. Still locked in. He popped up in his last at-bat. Ooh, this one hit well to center field. But Zeke Price is able to get a good angle on it. Catching that for out number 2. Runner is still stuck at first. Now Gadman batting from the left side. What the? Did he always bat from the left side? I guess so. I feel like the last at bat he was on the right, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Henley gets a strike here. 1-1 count with 2 outs. Ball misses just inside. 30th pitch from Knight is popped foul. 2-2, 2 outs. And takes strike 3 looking. Gadman can't believe it. Henley Knight pitching so well. She gets through 4, only allowing 3 total hits.
Number 36, Patrick Beal.
Patrick Beal will come up 0 for 1. He's had I would say, overall decent season. He's gotten a lot more playing time than I'm sure anybody would have expected due to the injury of Brock Valencia a few games back. You can tell he's actually getting tired. Fortunately, we're at the end of the season here as Beal gets a hold of this one, but it is going to hang up for Marin. Boy, that one was hit very well from Patrick Beal. If he has any more pop in that bat, it's probably gone. All barrel. And after an 0 for 2 day, we'll see Rubio come up tense. He has been used to that. He sends one to deep center field. Back against the wall is Marin. She leaps. She can't make the play into the batter's eye. Aiden Rubio not getting the aid of his lefty power trait, I don't think. And he'll get his mojo back very quickly. A second home run of the season, 5th RBI. Makes this a 5-0 ball game, and Pinata just gave up his first earned run of the season. ERA up to 150 now, which is still really solid. A show he's been flailing at everything. Takes the ball inside after swinging and chasing a strike, and he'll ground to shortstop. Handspringer to Roberson, out number 2.
The shortstop,
Or out number 1, excuse me. No, out number 2. And Pork would love a home run here. That, I think, could maybe cement the MVP if he can get a home run in this at-bat. Oh, that was a pitch. He fouls off. 1-1 count. And a base hit to right field, so it gets past Roberson into the right field, or towards the right fielder. He's going to reach away for the second time. 2 singles. That'll help his on-base percentage and his batting average, but it may not do enough as the slugging goes down a bit. And now the closer, Gregory Walsh, who had our number in the second game of the doubleheader earlier this season, will face off against Price, who's 2 for 2. One single and a double. He chases there. It's a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Ooh, got the fastball he was looking for, but early pulls it foul. There it is again, and he protects the plate, fouls off the right side. Off the end of the bat, he pulls into left field. So he'll reach for the 3rd time today. Price having an amazing last game of the season. He's locked in now.
Number 19.
As is Guevara over at second base. And Jacques Dennis, who's 1 for 2 with a RBI double, struck out last time. He's back to neutral mojo. We'll see what he does here against Walsh. Ball misses inside. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. Still 2 outs. Ooh, got a pitch he liked, but he fouled off. He was late on that fastball. Misses low here, 3-1. Good spot for Jacques. And he'll take ball 4. Good patient at bat from the vet. He's looking a lot better in this last couple of, maybe the last quarter of the season here. And Amos, who has an RBI double, has another opportunity for a way to save his season. He's batting .243, but does have 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. It's one well, but it's tailing foul, and it gets out of play. 2-1 count. Bases loaded. Walsh in a jam. See if he can get out of it. Get wrecked. Hits one hard. Blackwell dives in the grass, and he's going to make the play. Tosses the first to Roberson, and that'll end the inning. So we strand bases loaded. But all of that happening with 2 outs, we get the home run from Aiden Rubio, and that'll give us a 5-0 lead. So we have a good cushion here as we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's going to start with Rena Marin, and she stays on fire. She drops one into the left field corner. Coming up throwing is Get Wrecked. He's got to go to 3rd with this as Marin, flying around the bases, heads into second base. A leadoff double. First real situation that Tenley Knight has been kind of in a bit of a jam to start this inning. O'Brien, with tier 2 bad ball hitter, starts with a strike. Ball misses inside. 35th pitch on the way from Tenley. She'll get a strike. Chico pushes foul. Late swing, staying alive. Still 1-2. And a ground ball up the middle. Guevara is going to play that one and go to 1st. I think that's the good move. Let's get the out. Marin advances to 3rd on the hit, or on the ground out. 1 out for Miners. Replacing Miners is Cleome Rums, who will get her first at-bat of the season, and she's going to pull through for the Rakers as it gets past a slow-footed Amos Get Wrecked, and it's a RBI double for Rums, her first hit of the year and her first at-bat of the year. Easily scoring is Marin, and that is the first blemish of the day for Tenley Knight. And she'll have another runner in scoring position with 1 out for Burns, who's 0 for 2. Unfortunate after how awful her 3rd start of the year was. Tenley Knight has actually looked really great today, giving me a lot more hope heading into the playoffs. Pop foul here, 2-2 count for Burns. Tenley will get a grounder to short. Pork will go to 3rd. It's a great move as Rums will get stuck in a rundown. Dennis Shoei will apply the tag. It goes 6-5-4 for the putout. Fielder's choice allows Burns to reach safely, but now 2 outs, and Burns will stand on first base with Cordova coming up. Ground ball to shortstop will be an easy play for Guevara, out number 3. So Tenley Knight gives up a double, 2 doubles in this inning, but she only allows 1 run. So we head to the top of the 6th, would love a little bit of extra insurance. Trampleson 1 for 2. She has a base hit and she popped 1 foul. Chip Norman will come in and he's going to cover right field. He is a catcher. You might recall him from briefly being on the Tundras back in season 1. And Trampleson, hard hit ball, but right to Marin. She's been in the right place at the right time all game long in center field. Walsh gets pulled for Riggs' smile. Riggs locked in, but he's at half stamina, so he doesn't have a lot of life left in him. Just hoping that he can get through the rest of this half inning. 1-1 count to Black. He pops up behind third. Who's going to get to this one first? It's going to be the shortstop. Hanspringer catches that for out number 2. And now with 2 down, Patrick Beal is tense, going 0 for 2. Last chance for the Tundras to do anything, and he swings through strike 1. Swings foul there. Hay Neglector activates for Smile on the 0-2. And Beal takes strike 3. He's ready to be done with his season. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-1. Rakers are going to go through their 3, 4, 5 hitters. We'll see how long Tenley goes. I imagine she's going to at least get the chance to start this inning. She will. She's at 45 pitches, so she has some gas left in the tank if she can be efficient here. Hanspringer falls behind 0-2. He's still locked in. Get a base hit last time. Ooh, my goodness. Hanspringer with a no-doubt shot to right center field. And Tenley Knight gives up her second run of the ball game. It goes 445. Goes second home run, 6th RBI for Hanspringer this season. Just adding a little bit to the home run, or to the stat total before the season ends. Blackwell 1 for 2 with a single. Tenley Knight is tense. They're going to keep her in. She's about to throw her 50th pitch. I think at this point it is a good idea to pull her. She gets 2 quick strikes. Make it strike 3 called. Blackwell goes down looking, and I hope that was enough to get Knight's mojo back. As Roberson comes up 0 for 2, but still locked in. He gets a base hit into right center. Price will come up throwing to second base, but it's a 1-out single for Roberson. Stays locked in, and he turns it over to Gadman. With 1 out, he's 0 for 2. Tenley gets pulled for Holden stiff bottom. This is the right call. Holden is locked in. And the most reliable pitcher out of our pen. And popped up to shortstop. Guevara camped under it immediately. Runner holds at first. That's out number 2. Last chance this season for the Rakers. It's going to be Rena Marin. She's 2 for 2 with a single, a double, and I think she scored once. Her last time up. She's on fire right now. Average at .583 this season. She pulls foul. Going to be a 1-1 count. Holden just needs one more at bat here. 1-2 now. Last strike for the Rakers. And stiff bottom throws low. She doesn't chase. 2-2, 2 outs. Stiff bottom gets the strikeout to end the season. Saunters off the mound. Marin loses mojo. And the Tundras win, putting us at 11-5 and cementing the division for ourselves. It did not look good. For a minute, I was almost done with this team. And we pulled through. Now, granted, we got those 3 wins to end the season against teams below 500 or out of the playoff race. But we will take everything we can get. Everything changes when you get into the playoffs. We have some experience on this team from the playoffs, and I'm hoping we can leverage that. 5 runs on 9 hits for the Tundras, 2 runs on 7 hits for the Rakers. We got a home run from Rubio, surprise shot from him while being tense. We also had RBIs from Price, Get Wrecked, and Dennis. Dennis reaches twice to end the season with a .294 average. On the other side, the home run from Hanspringer, the double from Marin, and then the double from pinch hitter Rums are the only offense for the Rakers. we got to give some huge credit to Tenley Knight for coming into this ball game tense after getting destroyed against the Firebirds in her third start of the year. She manages to turn it around. She goes 5 1/3, giving up 7 hits. She allows 2 earned runs, 1 solo home run, and 2 strikeouts. Did not walk a batter. Her ERA looks bloated, but that was from one really, really bad game. She'll get the win here, going 3-1 on the season. Stiff bottom, one of the best seasons we've seen from a reliever, getting 2 outs, 1 via strikeout to end the season with a .77 ERA, 3 wins, and 2 saves, which he gets one today. Ingram gets the loss, 3 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 strikeout. Pinata gives up a home run, and that was it for our offense today, or against their pitching today. So Price, your number 1 player. You always love to see that. Hanspringer, number 2, and Jacques Dennis, number 3. So we've reached the end of the season. I think we have a couple more games to sim from other teams to get us through the final part here. And I'm going to... Oh, man, this is tough. Both viable defensive players for us. Christian Black is way cheaper. There's no way he's going to come back on this salary. And Beal is like right at his price point anyways. So I'm going to assume that Beal is more likely to come back after a loyalty hit than Christian Black. So we'll sim these 2 games right here. I don't think much is notable here, except for the Nocturnals have Iceman Grubbs. And as it stands right now, he did not get enough to pass Grubbs or Mina, so he can't get the MVP anyways, but Grubbs could drop in the MVP with a bad game. So we will take note of that here in just a second. Then we'll look how everything else played out to end the season. So quick sim these 2 games, 5-0 win for the Nocturnals, and then the season will end. So what happened since the game ended? Okay, a lot going on here. We might have some actual options for considering signing. Holy moly, there was a lot going on there. Okay, so we have Dropkin gets brought in by the Platypi. Vinny Arkansas isn't a consideration for us. Angelica Koch is not an option. Black loses arm, but he still has tier 3 cannon arm, so I don't care. Rivas with some development is fine. Don't know if I'll do that before the end of the season here. Let's see, who do we have? Barrera gets brought in, and Lennon Barron will get released by the Platypi. I don't think that's a good option for us. I just don't think she would be anyone we would ever really use. Now, this could be interesting. Ben Curley gets replaced from the Swordfish as they brought in Raiden Coleman, our former third baseman. Now, he could be an option for Royal Finley with bad ball hitter and rally starter. He could be a really good option in the on the bench. Zeke with a contact boost, we'll absolutely pay for that. That might be the only thing we can pay for. I can't imagine anything else popping up that we would want more than for Zeke to get that contact boost. Not interested in Josue Kelly. Agnes Lowe, no interest here. She's an interesting hitter. I don't think that's a good idea. Barbara Rivera, I don't know. Maybe an option for the bottom of the bench in the offseason if she's still there. We have Rex Appleseed, who we know a lot about, but he is, I think, scholarly, so we can't bring him in. And we have Israel Cameron is getting dropped by the Nemesis. We don't want to bring him in with crossed up. Rubio gets 2 speed to max out at 99. Bailey gets dropped by the Rushes. Doesn't look like a viable candidate for us, but I guess not terrible. Let's see, Ricardo Garcia gets dropped by the Cutters. I want a good hitter here. Abel Lowbrow gets brought in by the Streamliners. They drop Madison Middleman. We wouldn't bring her in. Then Nehemiah gets replaced by, replaces Vern Ware. So we lost out on Mayo. I don't know if we would have been able to afford her if it would have made sense. Patrick Beal with development. We'll see about that in just a moment. We have Leland Ferrari is a starter with stimulated. That would be interesting, actually, if we can get him to the bottom of the 4th inning. And Dennis Shoei ends the season by losing 3 power. Let's take a look at these options here. We don't do this for Stiff Bottom. We probably won't have enough money to do this one for Beal. And he's not likely to really do much for us in the playoffs. Getting the junk would be nice for Magnus Rivas, but I don't want to spend the money there. Won't do this one for Black. And I will do this one for Zeke Price, and it would be amazing if we could get that role for him. And I guess I won't be doing this one for McBiddle. So this is the last one we'll do before the end of the season here. 4 contact guaranteed. It sucks that he's losing 1 speed, but 75 is still very viable. And if he can get plus 8 contact here, it's well worth it. Even the 4 is well worth it. Puts him to 80. We get 84. Yes! Holy shit. All right, so plus 8 contact puts him at 84, along with his 94 power. And Zeke Price may be the reason we win a championship this season. There is enough money to pay for this one for Black, but I don't want to do it. And enough for this one for Beal, but I don't want to do that either. So I'm going to leave these as is. We're not going to do any more development. The big question... before we start doing signing and releasing, start moving players around, let's take a look at league leaders. Let's determine who is our MVP, who is our Cy Young winner. We'll give them the whiteout treatment, and then we will look at league leaders for the season, for the league, and for us. So Pork Guevara ends at number 6, and I believe he is going to be the player of the year, or the rookie of the year. Yep, Pork Guevara is your rookie of the year. I still don't understand how Grubbs makes it number 4 here. Even with 2 extra stolen bases and 4 extra walks, it doesn't make sense when Pork has more home runs, has more RBIs. Even June Mina has a better slugging, better OPS, has 7 home runs, which is insane. That ties a record. Either way, it's going to be... That's actually kind of messed up. Grubbs will get the MVP, the offensive MVP, and Rake Johnson will get the player, or the Cy Young and best player in the league. He did allow 6 runs, but none of them were earned. A .68 whip. So 9 hits and 5 strikeouts and 20.2 innings pitched. He had 1 complete game shutout. Great job from Rake Johnson in his, by far, his best season of his career. Jefferson Larson, dude, doesn't deserve to be up here. That's so messed up. Adriel Glenn with an incredible season. From the bullpen, going 18 innings in 11 appearances, not allowing an earned run, getting 4 wins, .78 whip. And then, of course, Iceman Grubbs here. So let's do those 2 really quick. So the Torpedoes and the Nocturnals are the teams that get the MVP additions here. So Rake, that's who gets the MVP right there, is Rake Johnson with give me 1 second. I just want to check something really quick. Okay. Sorry to peek at some work stuff really quick. So Rake Johnson gets the MVP and the Cy Young. Interesting. Tier 2 K Collector, Tier 2 Volatile, and he didn't pitch much. He doesn't look much better than someone like McBiddles, but he found success this season, so you got to give him credit where credit is due. So we're going to give him... Yep, we'll give the white here. This part's a bit tedious, so bear with me. It's a white glove. It's white batting gloves. All right, we're almost there. And again, I know the pitchers don't bat at all, but we're doing it anyways. All right, so Rake Johnson getting the MVP at 31 years old. And 4 seasons into the league, he finds success. All right, the other one was the Nocturnals. Freaking Iceman Grubs. I know the optimistic Tundran fan is going to be really loud about this in the comments about we should have brought him in. He ends the season on fire. Let's give him the MVP treatment. Yeah. I know. Why do we have gray here? Okay, well, we're doing white. Another season, another MVP. Of course, if you recall, before we get into the playoffs, which will be the second time in 4 seasons that the Tundras have made the playoffs. So it's funny, for as much as we've complained and like got frustrated about the struggles of this team in this franchise, we've made it to the playoffs in 2 of 4 seasons, which really awesome. It doesn't look like he's developed much. In fact, I think he regressed in speed and fielding just slightly. I don't know if contact went up. I can't remember. But he did get brought into a team with Tier 1 RBI 0, so he was able to still be successful there. But again, like, how does he compare to Zeke Price, for example? We couldn't get anything out of him. I'm not Zeke Price. Amos Get Wrecked, for example. So taking a look at the rest of the league leaders here, Pork is your Rookie of the Year. Anybody else of note here? Alex Doherty makes it to the top 10 again. She had that incredible season in her rookie year last year, where she swept Rookie of the Year, MVP, and Cy Young all in the same season. So she makes it back. Former Tundran Gabriella Potter with another amazing season. And of course, former Tundran June Mina, who I believe deserves the MVP or the offensive MVP. Offensively, Lane Smythe is your batting average leader with Pork Guevara sitting at number 2. Pork has 6 home runs. He's tied for second in the league behind June Mina. He has 13 RBIs, which is good for top 10 here. He had a number 3 in on base, number 1 in slugging, number 1 for on base plus slugging. So as a rookie to be able to produce those numbers, absolutely insane. Keep in mind, a lot of it came from that one single game where he had 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. But you have to be talented enough to do that. He had 17 hits on the season. Pork with 9 extra base hits was number 2 behind June. But he also makes it in the top 10 with 13 strikeouts, which isn't ideal. Nobody in runs scored. Rubio with 10 stolen bases, tied for the league lead. Trampleson with 4. Rubio also got caught stealing 4 times, and Price got caught twice. Interestingly, Tenley Knight gets gets 3 wins. So does Holden Stiff Bottom. Glenn and Larson both tie with 4 wins. That's annoying. Stiff Bottom with a .77 ERA is good for number 4. 3 saves for Quincy Healthy was tied for the league lead. Quincy with a .75 whip. Holden .77. Nobody in OBA. Nobody in strikeouts. Holden with the strikeouts per 9 category. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 players in the walks per 9, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the strikeouts per walk category. So pitching, I think, held up pretty well for us. In the bullpen, the starting rotation is a different story altogether. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the team stats and determine who would we determine as our all-star. I think I know the answer to that one pretty easily. Let's take a look at how we did this season. So overall, Rubio played all 16 games. I think we know this was a tale of two sides of this season, as he started off red hot, nearly 500 for the first 8 games of the season, and then just struggled in and out of tense mojo for the rest of the year. He still manages to bat .381 with a 10-17 OPS. He hits his 2nd home run of the year in the last game of the season, going 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Had 3 doubles. He did strike out 6 times, but he also had 10 stolen bases, which is incredibly valuable for us. Dennis Shoei had a really bad season. Comparably to Rubio, they should have been flip-flopped. If we saw this stat line for Rubio and this stat line for Shoei, I think we would have been a little bit more pleased and fine with both of them. But to be able to put up 3 extra base hits this season is really bad. The 8 strikeouts, he only stole 2 bases. He did walk 5 times, which is tied for the team lead. But just a really disappointing output from a guy that we put a lot of money into and committed to as our only player that wasn't falling into the chemistry structure. Pork, nothing more than I can say about him other than elite. As a rookie, to put up these types of numbers is absolutely insane. 6 home runs, 13 RBIs. He had 3 doubles as well. He walked 4 times, which is great. 13 strikeouts. Yeah, that's a spot in his game he needs to work on for sure. But I hope that we can see this version coming into the playoffs. Zeke Price, up and down year for sure. I think by the end, I felt a lot more confident. Had 4 doubles. He 5 walks there. 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. So he was kind of second best on the team for most stats here. I don't think it's enough for him to be able to make it to the All-Star game, but he could be a second option there. Jacques Dennis salvaged his season in the last quarter, manages to get 3 home runs in I think the last 4 games or so. With 5 RBIs, batting .294. It looks way better on paper than what we saw all season long. Amos Get Wrecked is a guy that's right on the line of being dropped from this team. It's just been too hard to watch him struggle so much. Yes, he had 3 home runs, which is tied for second on the team with Zeke and Jacques, but 237 average with a 13 strikeouts. You can't have 13 strikeouts unless you're producing like Porquivara. Let's just say that. Trampleson was serviceable. She's not known for her bad, but she actually held up pretty well with the 4 stolen bases as well. I think the 2 caught stealing calls were pretty rough. Black wasn't great, but just was a kind of that defensive fill-in. Patrick Beal was, I would say, more than serviceable for what we asked of him at the end of the season there. Valencia, oh my God, I really like Brock Valencia. I hope that he has an absolutely absurd playoff run because he deserved more than this. He got injured and couldn't play the last 3 games of the season. That hurt a lot, and it was really sad to see that bat missing in the lineup and his production missing. Royal Finley, surprised by him, actually. 10 for 32. He had 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. He had batted .313, had a double. He did strike out 7 times, which is excessive for the limited time that we had him on the team, but I think it was more than fine. And then Anya Corona going 3 for 8 is pretty solid with a double in there as well. For her not really being known for her production on the offensive side and in spot starts, I'm really glad with what we saw from her. Pitching. God, I don't even know what to say here. This is Jekyll and Hyde here. What is it? Mr. Hyde is the monster. That's what our starting rotation was. Like Wankerstein, yeah, the 3.13 ERA looks good on paper and the .98 whip, but that last game that he pitched was god awful against the War Wagons. Got just lit up, and his stat line looks a lot worse than what it did. He at one point was going to be a potential top 10 candidate. But he just sunk in that last game. McBiddles was awful all season. Richard wasn't great in his 2 starts with the team, only going 4 total innings. He did get injured in his last start, so you got to give him a little bit of grace there. And then Tenley Knight was surprisingly better than I expected. Again, that ERA looks way worse because of her 3rd game pitched against the Firebirds, where I think she only got like an inning pitch, less than that. And she gave up like 6 runs. It was really bad. Rivas, limited time, had a really rough start appearance against the Rakers. That was the game where we completely fell apart. But then he pitched again. I think it was that game against the Cutters, where everyone in the bullpen was amazing. Rivas was really good there. I feel so good about our bullpen. How is it that Ellen Booth has the worst ERA of this bullpen? That's really sad to see, but she pitched really well. She got tagged on a couple of home runs that throw her ERA off. She showed up in 8 games. Healthy, was elite this season. Holden stiff bottom though. Oh my gosh, absolutely going to be our pitching candidate for the All-Star game with that .77 ERA, the .77 WHIP. 9 games pitched, 11 and 2/3 innings, and he gives up 8 hits, 1 walk, 14 strikeouts, and a .19 opponent batting average, or a 190. Saw 43 batters. Ellen Booth saw more, and Quincy Healthy saw the same amount, but the bullpen I feel so confident about. It's the starting rotation that's terrifying me, and I don't know how that's going to play out in the playoffs because I don't know what we're going to be able to do about this. I would say, depending on what moves we potentially make here, Telly Knight would be our 3 instead of Richard. I just feel more confident with her, but it depends on who we end up going with here. She did play her way back onto this team as I was considering getting rid of her before that start. Decided not to make that decision, and I'm glad I didn't. So I think it's going to be Holden Stiff Bottom as our pitching representative for the All-Star team, and then it's going to obviously be Port Guevara as our hitting candidate or hitting representative. There is a chance, depending on what the rest of the Yang Conference looks like, that Zeke Price could end up making it to the All-Star team as well, but just barely. He's sitting right on the edge there, so we'll see what the other numbers say before we, and you'll know next game what that's going to look like. Alrighty, now let's just take a look and see if there's options for us to consider pitching-wise. So we could go with Ashlyn Fry to replace, we were talking about Tenley Knight, but I wouldn't want to do that. I would go with Stephen Richard instead. And doing that would not mean that we need to go find a competitive player to replace a crafty player.
Of a track that was.
And we would have to
Can't decide whether you're more hungry or thirsty?
do it with 3.2 million in surplus to work with. The other option is we could replace Rivas with Ashlyn Fry. That gives us a little bit extra money to work with. Makes our bullpen so much stronger. With her being a long reliever, I'd feel much more confident with her going out there versus Rivas if we get a bad start from one of our starters. We'd have 4.3 left in surplus. So if we were to do that, I really want to find a replacement for Steve Richard here and potentially Connor McBiddles. So let's actually just go straight to the pitching side. And let's see. We have Cameron, who I'm not considering at all. We have Ferrari, which we can't consider because he's disciplined. We have Mason Riley, who has been sitting out here forever. He is a 3-pitch starter. And has he done anything? Pitched well for the Swoops for 2 seasons. He struggled in season 3. Hasn't played at all this season. He had a complete game shutout back in season 2. In 4 starts, he went 2-0. But I think he's done. We won't have to worry about regression. Him over Richard. Actually, I don't know if I want to do that. Gage Velasquez would be the 1-to-1 replacement for Richard. I'm actually not opposed to this. It would be 1.4. Let's see what that looks like. We gain a ton of velocity. We lose a little bit of junk and a little bit of accuracy. I like the split on the 2 fastballs, 2 off-speed pitches. We do get K neglector, but it's only -8 and 8 with 2 strikes, which I don't know how often he's going to get to 2 strikes. So I could feel good about this one. Shit, I already forgot. It was 9.4 was going to be the move to go from Rivas to Fry. If that's the case, then we'd have... Wait, that's not right. 1.4 puts us at 12.3. And then with Ashlyn Fry for Rivas, what was it? Yeah, it was 9.4. So 1.4 puts us at 2.9, I believe. If my math is right. Fry's is a lefty, which isn't great. So we're at about 2.9 we're left to work with here. We can make it 1.9 if we were to keep Rivas and we replace Wong instead. So I'm going to put a watch here, and I'm going to put a watch on Velasquez. Now, the other option is we could go with Aries Painter instead of Connor McBiddles, or we just leave McBiddles, we would be gaining Meltdown, which could be really bad. Lose velocity, lose junk, a lot of junk, and we would gain accuracy. I think we ride McBiddles into this into the off season. Into the playoffs is what we're gonna do there. Hitting wise, we can't consider low. Ben Curley, that's going to be too expensive of a move. And who is competitive? Ayana Corona. We're not going to get rid of Rubio. Corona's the only option, and we wouldn't be able to afford that. So, since we can't really make any other moves, and we could go with Maynard instead of Get Wrecked. Get the better contact, better speed. Slight drop in fielding, big drop in arm, but he'll gain cannon arm. He'll get tough out. We lose a ton of power, but we really weren't getting that from Get Wrecked. I think because of clutch, I'm going to hold on to Amos for this one. And we really don't have any viable hitting options at all. So here's what we're going to do. I'd love to consider Ben Curley, but we just can't do that. It's going to be way too much money. We're getting tight on time, so I'm going to make two moves. I'm going to replace Gage Velasquez with Steve Richard with Gage Velasquez. That's a 1-for-1 move on the competitive chemistry. Puts us at 12.3 left in surplus. Makes me nervous, but I think Richard... I just don't think he's that great of a pitcher, and maybe Gage can be our number 4, and we just hope we never have to use him. And then we are going to go with Ashlyn Fry. Ashlyn is going to come in, and I think... So, Rivas, 4 pitches, 30 accuracy, Ezra Wong. I think Ezra is the player we keep here, with Tier 3 stimulated. So I think I'm going to go with Rivas here. No, but the length from Rivas and Ashlyn Fry is going to be what's really important. With our starting rotation, we need that, so I'm going to actually go with... This is a tough decision, but I'm going to bite the bullet here. I think we need the length out of Rivas, and we're going to be relying on Ashlyn Fry. The offense just needs to do it. They just need to figure it out. So we're going to go with... I'd like to bring Wong back, but right now... I think we got to go with the more reliable Ashlyn Fry here. And Magnus Rivas is just another, like an emergency. He should be our mop-up guy. I hate that the 3 elite pitchers in our bullpen are all lefties, which isn't great. But I do think that that's going to be fine enough. And then the last thing I'm going to do here before I leave is... I'm just going to do a quick sort here, and I'm going to check on any potential moves I can make here. It has to be crafty, so that's just going to be Carno Cherry, and we're not interested there. And Blakely Benitez, no thank you. An upgrade from Royal Finley, potentially. And we can go as far as here. Has to be Spirited, so that's Triple Barneswell. Option. Anson Massey, no thank you. We could go with Marty Maynard here. Ooh. That one's intriguing. We don't have enough time. I'm going to think about it. I will leave it here, and we'll figure it out next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, go ahead and like the video down below. If you made it this far, put a little... tundra emoji to just celebrate the playoffs as we win the division. We're the number 2 seed going into the playoffs. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel so you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out, especially as we're going to get into one of the most interesting playoff runs that we've ever seen here. And lastly, just want to say thank you all so much for following along, getting this far into the season. and going through our struggles. We'll see you all next time into the All-Star game before we reach the playoffs. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.